that weather impact alert still remaining in effect. In fact, it's bringing quite the conditions to parts of the Triad. And parts of Rockingham County, parts of northern Forsyth County, up towards Stokes County, and back towards Surrey County, also dealing with snow now. And we at the station have actually gotten some grapple. Remember, did a weather IQ explaining what that was. Super cold water droplets, snowflakes falling through that layer of super cold water droplets. And basically those the snowflakes then start to kind of gather and congeal together into those little pebbles that are white, right? And they look like Dippin' Dots or styrofoam balls. And so we are getting some reports of some of the grapple falling across the area, as well as sleet and rain impacting parts of the Clash. And so they're still trying to get that race underway. It seems like they get a couple of laps in, and then there's a caution, which, hey, I grew up with Bristol, so I know that that is definitely something that's difficult to race on. All right, so that's not what I want to show you. There is the radar, though. You can see those showers moving through. All right, I want you to text us our questions about snow that you may have, maybe some impacts for you. 336-379-5775. Again, that is 336-379-5775. That's that number there. I'll give you a moment here to take a picture. And if you have any questions weather-wise, you can text them in here. All right, let's dive into what's going on. We have some disgusting conditions. 33 right now at PTI. And look, it feels like 24 degrees outside. That northeast wind, ooh, it's brutal. We got some of the crews out at the Clash right now at Bowman Gray. And yeah, they are definitely saying that it is not fun to be outside. There's Greensboro, here's Winston-Salem, 32, northeast at 12, feels like 23 out there. So actually sitting at freezing in Forsyth County. How about one more look at Alamance County, 34 degrees, feels like 28. I think it's that northeast wind at about 7. And so, yep, the cold air will be filtering in over the next couple of hours, already dropping us into those lower 30s. Look at that. Many of us actually falling to around freezing or just a degree above freezing. And even to the south of us, starting to see that air get quite cold. Now, that's important when it comes to precipitation type, of course. There's your winter weather alerts. You've got some winter weather advisories. And again, we're still looking at that rain, potentially transitioning over to light snow as we go into the evening hours. Already starting to see a little bit of that process across the area. We'll continue to see that. Travel impacts are expected tonight into early Thursday morning. It's going to be mainly on those elevated bridges and overpasses, some of those guardrails, handrails. That's where you're going to see that accumulate a little bit better versus the direct road or the direct grass, because the ground temperatures have come up a little bit, so it's not going to necessarily immediately accumulate as it's falling. You have to get a good burst to kind of overcome some of that warmth on the ground, so to speak. So I think most surfaces should be okay tomorrow. Now, if you still have snow on the ground, you still have snow on your grass, you still have snow around, that, of course, is going to accumulate snow because it's cold, right? It's cold snow, so it's going to accumulate. So we've got it tonight through Thursday morning, that weather impact alert, light rain to snow, slick travel expected. Let's jump into radar because we've got a party going on across the Triad, at least the northern portions of it right now. There's Wilkes County, and we got a little bit of a mix. Basically snow over to rain, back to snow. Sparta definitely saw some good snow earlier. Mount Airy was seeing some snow. King, we got some good video from viewers that we will be sharing on the late news there in Stokes County. And then into northern Forsyth County, we've gotten some reports around the Winston-Salem area of sleet. So we are seeing some of the wintry precip there. Haven't seen a whole lot out of Guilford yet, but we did get that batch of rain to push through. I know I drove through some rain for my dinner break. And then you can see Yanceyville there in Caswell County dealing with a little bit of that snow moving through. Reesville might be getting some good snow right now. Eden, a lot of portions of Rockingham County. I know Madison was reporting some of that snow earlier as well. So, yeah, look at Rockingham County, a good amount of snow. There's Stoneville, Wentworth, Eden, getting some of that snow. If you do have snow reports, go ahead and let us know. Tag us on social media, send them in to us. You can also use that number that I showed you to text us in snow reports or videos. That's a really great way to share them with us. Now, the rest of us, a whole bunch of crickets, right? We're not hearing anything right now or not seeing anything. So we'll have to, this is all lifting to the northeast. So once that cold air kind of pushes to the south, we should pick up some of that snow. Otherwise, this will be it, but that's not what the models have been indicating. So that's kind of our radar tour across the region. Futurecast temperatures, not too bad right now. So we are sitting mainly in those lower to middle 30s, and we'll continue to see these bursts of snow kind of through the overnight hours. You can see them moving northeast here, so maybe some additional development to our south and to our west, moving more northeast, kind of over the areas we go into the morning hours tomorrow, tapering off probably by late morning, and then maybe starting to warm up ever so slightly into those upper 30s. As we go through the afternoon, this model wants to keep us a little cooler, but there's your cool air and cold air, and so I think temperatures will drop more as we go into our Friday. You can see the upper 20s on there as well. And then another quick moving system into our Friday afternoon, evening. It's going to be rain for the triad. We're just going to be warm. We're going to get that downslope wind off of the mountains. It's a warming wind, and so we're not going to see a whole lot of impacts from that, I don't think, wintry wise. So that's what we've got going on. As far as snow amounts go, I think we're still doing well. You can see that 1+ is for northern Wilkes up towards Surrey, back towards Allegheny, and they've already seen some decent bursts of snow. And then some of the rest of us, getting closer to maybe that inch up in Rockingham County as they're getting some of that snow right now. And then the rest of us might see some bursts of snow, I think closer to ½ an inch for most, if we see any of that. Some of that could be light glaze of freezing rain as well. Now, the good news is impacts are not going to be significant. We're talking wintry weather for most of us. Some places it's highlighted kind of Forsyth into Guilford. A few inconveniences, maybe based on the amount of snow they're expected, or just because we already have snow and we're going to add snow on top of that. That could create a few inconveniences for us. So keep that in mind. Portions of Randolph County, seeing that southern Randolph, probably with some of those higher amounts. For this storm, really, it is to our east, Rocky Mount, Roanoke Rapids down to Four Oaks. It's going to have to watch out for more impacts from the freezing rain precipitation. All right, we've got about 3 minutes here. Let's see if we got any questions in. Let me go back to radar, because I'm sure people have a question on that. So far, no questions. So I don't have any questions. Okay. That is fine. I could pop the number back on there if you do have any questions. And pop myself off. 336-379-5775. If you have questions, if you want to share photos, if you want to share videos with us, you can do that by texting this number. 336-379-5775. Again, that is 336-379-5775. We've got a couple of minutes here if you want to text in some questions. You can go back to radar. I don't see any questions coming in. All right. Well, there you go. If you have any questions, you can text them in. If you don't, that's what we've got going on. Again,